Welcome to my team, where you're in control of a new team on the F1 grid. First things first, choose what kind of experience you'd like. If you're new to the series and want to jump straight in, well, we've got recommended settings for you just here. On the other hand, if you're familiar with the F1 games, then feel free to customize your experience as much as you'd like. That's it. It's time to take charge of F1's 11th team and lead them to glory.
As the owner of the newest team in F1, your first job should be introducing yourself to the team. Now we know a bit more about you. Let's explore your background ahead of our first season. Hey there, my name's Andrew. I'm your head of personnel. It'd be useful for the team to know a bit more about your background. Give them a sense of how you intend to lead our efforts. And tell us a bit about this HQ. How well developed are the facilities here ahead of our debut season?
Hello, Mathis, head of your engineering facility. Let's discuss where we think we are in terms of car performance.
Hey, boss. I'm Anissa. I head things up in your corporate facility. Let's discuss our financial situation.
Right. With all that out of the way, our next task is to finalize our team's visual identity, our official name and branding.
Next up, there's an amount of contract work we need to get nailed down. First, we need to settle on our title sponsor. This will represent a key source of income over the coming season. We have a few potential sponsors lined up. Each contract splits our income in 3 ways. A signing bonus that we receive now, a weekly income paid over the course of the season, and finally, a bonus at the end of the season, if we achieve the goals set out in the contract.
Secondly, we have to make a call on which engine supplier we want to work with this season. Generally speaking, our choices can be defined as a trade-off between performance and durability, with the caveat that neither come cheap.
And finally, let's talk drivers. Obviously, we need 2 of them. So let's start with our first one. Each driver's performance is measured in a number of ways. Experience counts for a lot, and drivers with more on-track experience will have an advantage over less experienced competitors. Racecraft describes a driver's ability to work their way through the pack to finish the race higher up than where they started. Awareness represents the driver's skill at avoiding the steward's room. The higher this stat, the less likely they are to pick up warnings and penalties. Pace is a measure of sheer speed. Outside of battling their opponents, how good are they at pulling out consistent fast laps? All these stats contribute to the driver's overall rating, while focus represents their current state of mind and how well they're leveraging their rating out on track. All right, that's one driver locked down. Now let's pick their teammate.
That all looks solid. Good choices and all within our budget. Feel free to review your choices if you want, but otherwise I think we can move on. Finally, we need to approve our race gear. Don't worry about sponsors just yet, we'll add them later. For now, let's just focus on the livery design and suits.
I think that's everything, boss. If you're happy with all of this, give us the nod, and we'll get everything moving. And if not, feel free to go back and review your choices.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they're a really popular character up and down the paddock with great energy and years of experience in managing people to success. The question is, how will they balance that arm around the shoulder approach, all whilst having to deliver performance on track?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labor, the brand new 2025 car.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations, and all the very best for the season ahead.
Welcome to your Team HQ. This is the hub of the team's operations, and it's probably worth having a look around, familiarizing yourself with the different areas you'll be responsible for directing. You can use these options to navigate around your HQ. Keep an eye out for notifications. I think Madison Engineering was looking for you earlier, and they were asking for you in corporate as well. You should catch up with them before we proceed further. Oh, and as you look around, keep an eye out for this message. It appears wherever you can summon more information. It's a very useful reference if you want to start digging into the finer detail of how the team functions. This is your activity schedule. Scheduling activities between race weekends lets you and the various facilities focus on specific areas of productivity. You can select the different facilities in your own schedule over here, and then select an activity for them to pursue. Picking the right people to work on the right thing at the right time can give us an edge when we really need it, so don't overlook the value of activities. You should consider setting some now, if you have time before the next race. Your team standing on the grid is measured in two ways: fan rating and sentiment. Fan rating is a measure of your team's prestige and history in the sport and can be increased by completing accolades. Whereas sentiment is more dynamic, a measure of your recent performance both within the current season and looking back to previous seasons. As your fan rating increases, you will earn not only a one-off award for each fan rating level, but also ongoing bonuses that benefit the team. Positive sentiment can unlock more bonuses relative to your fan rating, whereas negative sentiment can temporarily disable bonuses you've earned until your sentiment improves. The combination of fan rating and sentiment will affect many aspects of your career, so keep tabs on them at all times. Accolades are milestones, representing your team's growing history and prestige within the sport. By completing these accolades, you will improve your team's fan rating, which unlocks various bonuses and also affects how the drivers view your team and its prospects.
Hey boss, thanks for coming down. First GP's not far away now, and people are starting to roll off the project as we get more and more of the car locked down ahead of our debut race. We can't afford to lose momentum, so we need to start tasking people with work towards our first upgrade package. As it stands, we already have some resource points, data from testing, that we can use to kickstart our research efforts. We just need to know where you want us to start. Let's go pick an upgrade to research. This is where we choose our research projects. Research and development are split into 4 departments: aero, powertrain, chassis, and durability. Pick one of these departments, and let's go choose the first research project you'd like us to tackle. Copy that. That feels like a good place to start. I'll get the research team on it.
Okay, this is the facility improvement screen. Here are the improvements you can currently schedule for this facility. You can access the other facilities and explore their improvements from these tabs. Some improvements need us to have completed other improvements first. If an improvement is blocked, it will be listed here, along with information on which improvements we need to complete first in order to unblock it. Each improvement will provide us with an ongoing benefit, but they each also increase the size of that facility. As the facility gets bigger, it will unlock higher levels of that facility, which in turn unlock further improvements for us to pursue. Welcome to the personnel facility. All the money and technology in the world won't help this team if we don't have the right people in place, and this is where we focus on achieving just that. Obviously, some of the most crucial hires on the team are the drivers, and managing our relationships with both current and future drivers is a big part of what we do here. But the team is much more than just the drivers. Each facility is staffed by experts representing the top of their respective fields, and managing them is also our responsibility. This is where we manage our discussions with drivers, both our drivers and other drivers we might be interested in signing in the future. These slots are for our current drivers. We're obviously much closer to these two than anyone else, but it's still an important job each year, figuring out what's important to them and where their long-term aspirations lie. But we also have to be prepared for the future. If we lose one of our drivers, or if we feel we have a better prospect, it's important to have done the groundwork to allow us to negotiate with a new driver. Or more than one. Just be cautious. The more drivers we engage with, the more likely it is that our current drivers will get wind of it, and that can very much affect how they feel about us, and about their future in our team. Each of your facilities has a number of staff members. The more staff you have in a facility, the more productive it will be, but the more it will cost to run it. Facilities automatically recruit staff over time up to the current cap, but if you want to limit expenditure, you can reduce that cap. Be aware, reducing the cap to below your current workforce will cause the excess staff to be made redundant. And even if you raise the cap later, it will take time to rehire those roles and get back to the previous staff levels. Beyond that, making a lot of staff redundant in a short space of time can have a chilling effect upon both morale of the remaining staff and hiring rate.
Hello, boss, and welcome to corporate. This is the hub for the team's finances, our corporate identity, and for our ongoing sponsor relations. Speaking of which, it's important to ensure that our new sponsors are reflected in our team's livery before we head to the first race weekend. Select customization, and let's go finalize the livery design. From here, select race gear. We want to focus on the car, so select the car option. This is where you can define the look of your car, liveries, driver number, and sponsor decals. Right now, we're focused on sponsors, so let's select this option. This is the decal editor, where you can apply sponsor decals to your car. Part of what we do here in corporate is build up our family of sponsors. So, over time, we'll have more of them to display on the car. The more secondary sponsors you feature on the car, the more money we'll make. But be aware there are diminishing returns. Use this selector to focus on different areas of the car and start adding some sponsor decals. Nice one. If you're happy with that design, then that's what we'll go with. This is our title sponsor, which are responsible for the bulk of our team's income. While much of that income is paid weekly, a large part is dependent upon us meeting our contractual obligations and hitting our seasonal goal. As we develop our relationship with this sponsor, we'll increase their loyalty, which over time can result in further benefits. That said, as our team's fan rating grows, we may be able to attract more valuable title sponsors. So, knowing when to prioritize building loyalty over the financial benefits of a more lucrative sponsor is something we'll need your guidance on.
Okay, seems like everyone has what they need. If there's nothing else you want to do today, feel free to advance time from this menu. This will skip ahead to the next critical event, but don't worry. If anything comes up between now and then, myself or the other facility heads will interrupt and let you know. So, we're going to need to open talks with drivers for next season. They could be ours, or are currently driving for other teams. You should head to the driver comms page to see who you want to consider. I've reached out with a very early preliminary inquiry to their side. I'll let you know how it goes. Hard to get a read on it at the moment. These things are always fluid and move quickly, but if they're interested in us, I'm sure things will move a bit quicker.
Hey, Chief, just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks. The research group have delivered us a design, but we need to actually build the thing if it's going to be of any use. And for that, we have the development group. This is where we turn the engineer's dreams into reality. Here's the upgrade we've researched, selected to start development. So it's up to you whether to kick this development off now or not. But when you do, you'll want to consider how you want to develop it. Certain options won't be available until you've invested a bit more into improving this facility. But the important thing to think about is that you need to develop 2 copies of the part, one for each of your driver's cars. If you only have a single part when you get to a Grand Prix, you'll need to visit the Assign Upgrades area to decide which driver's car to prioritize. Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss? Unfortunately, it looks like a part we were developing has failed. I'm sorry to say we will need to revisit the development area and redevelop it. Sorry, Chief.